pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Brendel?
Here.
Mr. Miller? Absent.
I said, Brian, watch this.
Mr. Quinn?
Here.
Mr. Tangeman? Mr. Tangeman?
Yes.
Mr. Weiss?
Here.
Mr. Zellman?
Here.
Mr. Martin?
Here.
Ms. Laji? Here. Chairman Pearsall?
Here.
Yes.
This meeting is called pursuant to the provisions of the Open Public Meeting Law. Notice of this meeting was included in a list of meetings sent to the Co-Star and Asbury Park Press, posted on the bulletin board in the municipal building, and it's on the borough website. I'd like to do the approval of two items. The first is the reorganization, so I'd like a motion on that.
Make a motion that we approve the minutes of the reorganization meeting. Second it.
Mr. Brendel?
Yes.
Mr. Quinn?
Yes.
Mr. Tangeman?
Yes.
Mr. Weiss?
Yes. Abstain, that's what I was.
Mr. Zellman?
Yes.
Mr. Martin?
Abstain.
Ms. Laji? Chairman Pearsall?
Yes. Like a motion on the regular meeting of January 26, 2017.
Make a motion that we approve the minutes of the regular meeting from January 26, 17. Second that.
Mr. Brendel?
Yes.
Mr. Quinn?
Yes.
Mr. Tangeman?
Yes.
Mr. Weiss? Mr. Zellman?
Yes.
Mr. Martin?
Abstain.
Ms. Laji? Chairman Pearsall?
Yes. For correspondence, we have a letter from, I guess, someone that lives in Wickham Manor, and I'm not exactly sure why we have it, but we do have it. And, it's concerning, I guess, the new, development that went up there, and, the lack of a buffer or something like that. So is there a reason why we received that?
They decided that they were sending the same letter to mayor and council and to both boards.
Okay.
And at the planning board, I mean, there was discussions, about that. And the last discussion was that, yes, it's kind of a little deficient, but let's wait till the spring, see what's been planted there, how it's going to grow, and if any additional plantings are required. And at the time, the applicant said that they would gladly plant additional if the borough engineer saw fit.
Okay. Thank you.
So it's on Lou's shoulders now?
Borough engineer.
Oh. No.
I don't know what was required, but our ordinance has a hefty buffer.
Yeah, those, I saw them today. They're at least 10 feet apart or so.
Our ordinance requires that hefty buffer unless it's approved with less of a buffer.
I think part of the unsaid concerns of Wickham Manor is that there's a piece of property adjacent to them that's up for sale now. That's about 120 feet in the front and 400 feet it goes back. It's a big piece of wooded property, and if that gets developed, they will be open to Route 71.
Well, they should buy it.
Well,
That would end that.
Perhaps the people who run Wickham Manor should get together and do that.
They should have bought this other one. They should have.
Where is that piece of property, John?
You know where Pat Wignall's house is? You know where
It's
the
the
new development
reddish
is?
colored house that's kind of,
With
is
the
it
white
reddish
fence
colored?
Yeah, I think so. There's the property that's developed, the new development. There's a house owned by the Wignalls, and then there's another piece next to that. Right next to, it would be next
Is
to
that
St.
that old
Stephen's.
beat up looking house?
Yeah, I think so.
That
Next
goes
to-
400 feet back?
It goes forward.
But the backside, it like L's over it.
It has a strange
It's a
shape.
corner lot.
Yeah, it's a very weird shape. It would be next to St. Stephen's parking lot.
In the back.
Oh, okay, I'm on the other side.
But it goes all the way, and it's forested. It's completely wooded.
That's
It's probably the last big piece of open space in town, actually.
The one retort to this, and I was reading this, and it came to mind that just about a week ago, I was reading in the paper that Spring Lake Heights is the 4th highest municipality in terms of our property value increases. Did you read
Yeah, I
that?
read that
You
too.
know, out of the whole state, we're number 4, so.
But I don't think that has to do with,
Well, he was saying his property values are being impacted. I don't know.
what's up, we should talk to his realtor.
That's right, Fred Manges, right down the road. Talk about the pool.
Moving right along here. Our old business, we have 2 resolutions to move. I'd like a motion on the first one, it's 2017-05. The findings on our 2016 decisions, and I believe that Mr. Kitt, that you wrote that, and it was about the garage issue and so forth.
In consultation with Lou, yes, so
Yeah.
essentially, we're asking the mayor and council to address the issue that regarding if you have a detached structure.
Because I think the way,
Well, it's worded a little harsh here.
what they,
This resolution,
well, in what respect or whereabouts?
it says that you have to have a garage in your a vehicle in your
You have to-
garage.
But it's not being used for the storage of vehicles.
Well, I think it has to have the ability to have,
Store
you
it.
know,
Right.
Yeah.
There you
you
go.
know. So, do you think it should be reworded a little bit, or should we go with, see what, you don't know where it's going
Well, you
anyway?
know what, it's not going anywhere anyway.
Well, you know, I thought about this, if somebody could have a backyard, but couldn't be accessed because there are no driveways on either side, or, you know, not enough room on either side, but they could have a 600 square foot, you know, garage in the backyard.
Yeah.
But it seems, that doesn't seem right. I mean, because like a garage, I think maybe means a place where you could theoretically put a car.
Well, maybe it comes down to the word garage versus what the town's ordinance says accessory buildings.
Well, see, I think we wanted them to define garage as a building that you could park a vehicle in, as opposed to an accessory, to make
Right now,
it clear.
it's these two,
Because we had that application before us, which there wasn't really,
That was never going to be used as a garage.
And there was no real answer on that,
yeah,
right, in the ordinance.
so it's seeking to address the situation.
All
Right.
right, so,
But, Brian, I don't want it to be harsh, so.
I mean,
That's the first time you've really
Well,
used that
it's-
word.
you better have a car in that garage.
But,
Like no lawnmower in there.
But
That's
to
the
quote
shit.
this, it says, "The board believes a homeowner should not be permitted to have a detached garage with an allowable 600 square feet in height of 15 feet if it is not being used for the storage of vehicles." Well, you don't have to store, you don't have to put a vehicle in the garage. We wanted to sort of say that it's capable of being used for a vehicle.
That's good.
With a driveway. I mean, this
Well,
is
it
sort of
doesn't even
like
have to have a driveway, but it should have a.
access
door.
to it, some way to get in a vehicle into it. Because this sounds like if you build a garage, you have to park your car in it,
See, it's not just me.
right?
But this is the point, why don't you hear what the board said?
so do you want to tweak it?
We can tweak it. Not a problem. So what,
So there is no motion on this at this point.
Well, I think it needs to be just rephrased a little bit.
Yeah.
The board believes a homeowner,
Well, the definitions that you reference here are both, none of them are about a garage. They don't even have a definition for a garage. They just call this an accessory building. So maybe we want them to
define a
To
garage.
define a garage.
And our suggestion would be that it be a building capable of holding a vehicle and with
capable
access.
and access.
And has accessibility.
Right.
You know, I think mostly we need clarity on what you're allowed to have on a property. Because I was always under the impression you could have one garage on your property.
Yeah.
Going through these two houses, this house and the one on Shore Road, it now seems like you can have two garages, two separate and distinct garages. Because they have an attached garage and a detached garage on the Ocean Road house. And on the Shore Road house, we gave the guy permission to essentially build a garage as long as he used it as a workshop. Remember the one with no driveway to it in the back corner?
Right, that's the one, that's one.
Right. We had to give him permission to do that. And this guy kind of came and asked for forgiveness, but didn't.
Well, no,
Yeah, he didn't ask for forgiveness, but he should have.
no, he was within his own rights to put up a second accessory building.
Why?
Why? Because the way the thing is written right now, it's fine. What his problem was that he changed the door from a garage door to a sliding regular
It was
door.
originally approved as a garage.
Right,
It turned out to be a garage.
right,
He called it a garage, but he built the building,
right. An accessory building.
accessory building. So we.
There's no access to it.
There was no, right.
Well, he claimed that he had access if he wanted to put a motorcycle back there, if you remember.
Through the Lord's
Uh,
gate.
that's not
It have to be that wide.
So you want vehicular access,
Yes,
not just access, right?
right. You're right. In order to be a garage, you have to be able to get a vehicle in it. Otherwise, don't call it a garage, call it, and make that your accessory building, then it's gonna be a lot smaller.
No, but under these definitions, accessory building is allowed up to 600 feet.
Oh, okay, and
Only if it's a garage.
only if it's.
Yeah.
You don't say garage, they say accessory building.
No, sheds are.
Why are sheds 100 feet?
Yeah.
That's the second accessory building.
We'll see.
I have it right here, if you have
Okay.
to read it to you.
Yes.
Look at it here.
302 or is it, no, 502. Oh. Accessory buildings. Any accessory building attached to a principal structure is part of, adhere to the yard requirement. Any accessory building detached from the principal building shall have a rear and side yard setbacks. Only one shed and one garage per lot. Any detached accessory structure cannot be located in front of a principal building. The maximum structure size for shed is 100, and the maximum structure size for a garage is 600.
You just said you only can have one garage per property.
One garage.
One
and
detached.
One detached.
And one shed or accessory building.
So you can have, let me get this straight, you can have an attached garage, a detached garage, and a shed.
Yes.
Well, because an accessory building attached to the principal structure is part of the principal structure.
Right, that's,
So it doesn't count as a garage.
So what would that be, the garage? That if it's attached?
Part of your house.
an attached
It's
garage.
part of the building.
Is that called an accessory structure?
No, that's the principal building.
Well, let me ask the question of the board. What do you think the purpose of the detached garage is for?
Well, some people don't have an attached garage, so they would have a detached
Right.
garage.
Well, it also comes down to that extra 5% that was allowed.
My question is, what,
You could still, if you have an attached garage and it fits 2 cars and you happen to have 3 cars, you might want to build another garage in the back,
for the purpose of what?
storing the vehicle, which is what garages should be for.
Well, is that what this is saying?
No, that's what we have to get them to say.
Well, when you say a vehicle, I mean, he could be right, a motorcycle's a vehicle, a bicycle's a vehicle.
A 4-wheel vehicle, call it.
Well, there's 3-wheelers.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, let me address it this way. We're not writing the ordinance.
right, right. But we have to suggest to them what we want written. Hopefully, they'll
Okay,
come out with it.
so isn't the, and if it's not the intent, that's what we need to discuss, but isn't the intent to ensure that if you have a detached garage,
And
the
it should
purpose
have
of
an
that
overhead door.
is to to store vehicles? Isn't that,
If you call it a garage, it should be able to store vehicles, but you don't, of course, you don't have to store vehicles.
Right.
But do you have to call it a garage? Couldn't you just call it an accessory building?
No, it's too big to be an accessory.
What are we trying to prevent? They use this garage as another living space?
Yeah, basically.
Right, so can we phrase it just like that the accessory building is to be used for storage or garage-like activities, not as a subsequent living space? I mean, it's really to include that language. Yeah. That's
Well,
not,
you
it's not
see-
a pool house or
If it's not a garage, then.
Owen's bar or anything like that?
But then it shouldn't be that big. You shouldn't, then it's not a garage, it shouldn't be that many square feet. Right?
But he's calling it garage, it's better than some apartments I have.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
I just
My house in Belmar.
So the wording says, the board believes a homeowner should not be permitted to have a detached garage with allowed 600 square feet in height of 15 feet if it is not being used for the storage of vehicles. Do we believe that?
No.
No?
We don't-
I think we believe that everything there, as long as it's not being used as an alternative living space.
Well, should the garage have a garage door on it at least?
Yeah.
Instead of a glass slider?
I want to say garage-like activities, but I don't know what the hell that means.
See, this makes it
That's not
seem that if
You
you
know,
haven't.
there's a lot of stuff that goes
must
on in a
put-
garage. So that door's open.
That's true. What kind of door is it though?
Why did that guy have to come in front of us to make that thing a workshop? How big was it?
It was bigger than.
Bigger than 600? But it was smaller than 600, or was it?
I think it was smaller.
What, Ocean Road?
No, Shore Road.
Shore Road.
Shore Road was a year ago, a year and a half ago.
Well, he actually,
And he wanted it, he had it, right, he wanted it to be a workshop. And he had to get a variance for that.
well, he has no access to back there from the front.
Yeah, but that wasn't an issue because we weren't, as I understood it at that time, he was not allowed to have the second structure of that size.
Because it was bigger than 100 square feet.
Right, which is what we have on Ocean Road, that was bigger than 100 square feet too.
So what was that called? That wasn't called a garage?
He
that
called
was-
that a workshop, and we,
Workshop.
right, and he promised he wanted to do woodwork, and he couldn't do it in the
I
house.
remember Brian said, if you say this is a garage, you don't need to factor.
I think what we simply needed was a definition of garage, because there's no definition of what the garage does as opposed to.
Let me just go to the dictionary and look up
Well,
garage.
then fine, that's good, and
Webster.
then let them put that definition into the code, and that would be fine. But I think the definition is gonna say a garage is a place where you store vehicles, or at least is intended to store vehicles, and you have to be capable of getting a vehicle into the garage. If you can't get to the garage, how can you call it a garage? Think, I mean, you know, if you have a carriage house for an old house, if you can't get the carriage up there, how can you call it a carriage house?
Garage, a building or shed for housing a motor vehicle or vehicles. Second meeting is an unpolished, energetic rocket. You're right, Brian.
So can we say no rock bands are allowed in the garage?
A building or shed for housing a motor vehicle or vehicles.
Yeah.
And it's kind of what you said, Mark, with your vehicles.
Subsequent is a depot station, terminal.
But with this wording, I would read this and say, I'm building a garage, I have to keep my cars in there, I can't put anything else in, I gotta put the cars in there. And that's not, I don't think, what we intended. We're not trying to force people to fill their garage with cars. We just wanna say, if you're gonna call it a garage, you have to be able to use it as a garage, if you want to use it as a garage.
Even if the outside only looks like a garage, and the inside doesn't.
Yeah. What happens inside, we're not gonna know anyway, but it's gotta look like a garage. Can't have sliding glass doors and all that
Yeah,
stuff,
and,
right?
you know, what, you know,
Small kitchen, internet.
generators, gas
Right.
hookups.
Yeah.
That's all well and good for the backspace of the garage.
So this really just needs to be tweaked a tiny little bit. So would you do that, Mark, and just tweak it, get it, so
How about the board believes homeowners should not be permitted to have a detached garage with an allowable 600 square feet, height of 15, if it is not able to be used for the storage of vehicles. And it's
could
accessible to, something
take
like
a
that,
car
just
apart.
a matter of another word.
Walk through the slide door and put them back together.
If it is not accessible to,
Put it in there.
for vehicles, for motor vehicles. Now, you realize when the council gets this, they'll change it completely, right? Yeah, but that's another.
Change it. They didn't get that
All right, so we'll just keep tweaking this, you know.
Yeah.
And so we won't make any movement on that tonight. All right, good.
Table that for now, then.
So, yeah. And let's move it right along here. Okay?
Right,
Yes.
I agree.
Andrew and I were walking in, so we'll be out here by like 7:35. Yeah, but we do have another resolution to move, and that's 2017-06. Had to do with the blacktopping of property on Ocean Road. Can I have a motion on that?
Make a motion that we accept resolution 2017-06.
As amended, changing Alair Road in section 8F to Ocean Road, and
What, is that like a full
Typo.
pop for all these driveways that look like this on Alair Road?
Probably.
All the new ones that were just put in?
paragraph F refers to Alair Road, and we'll just change it to Ocean Road.
Okay.
Second.
Mr. Frenzel?
Yes.
Mr. Quinn?
Yes.
Mr. Tangeman?
Yes.
Mr. Weiss?
Abstain.
Mr. Zelnick?
Yes.
Mr. Martin?
Yes,
Are you abstaining?
I'm staying, excuse me. I'm staying.
Mrs. Malaji? Yes. Chairman Pearsall?
Yes.
Okay, motion passes.
Okay, seeing that there is no new business tonight, I believe we can adjourn the meeting then.
Make a motion that we adjourn the meeting?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right.